One of the questions many are asking at this time in the life of the Church is, what is God up to? The evidence shows that God is up to a whole lot. On October 30th, 2016, the Church of St. Peter and St. Simon the Apostle was established as a whole new parish in the life of our diocese. This was marked by a joyful liturgy for all saints, with Bishop Patrick Yu as our celebrant and preacher. It was the end of a very challenging process, and yet the beginning of a whole new one. With change, there is always uncertainty, but that did not dampen our hope that something new and something good would emerge from it. St. Peter's had a long ministry in the heart of downtown Toronto, and that has seen many changes over the decades. As a community hub, it was home to San Lorenzo Parish, who later moved to St. Simon's, and a community who still worships with us. St. Simon's also had a unique ministry in the heart of Toronto, known particularly for its choral music program. In 1989, the parish opened its doors to the growing needs of the community by starting a men's shelter, the first out of the cold in Canada. With 80 beds, 2 meals a day, medical care, and fellowship, the shelter operates 365 days a year. Like many of the parishes in our diocese, ministry has had to adapt to changing attendance, aging buildings, and complex community needs. In both parishes, it was recognized that in spite of the good work being done, change needed to happen to invigorate our mission, and so a formal process began to move us towards amalgamation. I came from the generation that grew up with a TV show known as The Brady Bunch. I had no idea that I would find myself one day living that in the life of the Church. Having started my time as parish priest in charge of St. Simon's on August 1st, we worked together towards official amalgamation on October 30th. Like any joining of two established families, this continues to take a great deal of care, especially integrating people. Over those first months, we worked together to move many of the furnishings from St. Peter's, including historic memorials, their font, and the central altar, now used each Sunday as a side altar for administering Holy Communion and anointing for healing. But at the heart of the amalgamation is the desire for us to be stronger as one new parish than we were as two smaller, struggling parishes. The main focus has been to get to know each other, to integrate our ministries, and to build trust so that we can look forward to the mission that is before us. The St. Peter's members had as their primary goal to stay together as a family. We've been working together for this, knowing that as followers of Jesus Christ, the heart of it all is our worship life. We are blessed to have renewed energy, a vibrant parish life, new members, and a lot of excitement for the future. Situated on Bloor Street with Rosedale to the north, St. Jamestown to the south, and Cabbagetown to the east, with a range of housing, businesses, small and large, hospitals, long-term care homes, and so much more, we are a parish in one of, if not the most diverse and densely populated communities in the country. We are asking, how, as a new parish, do we reach out with the hope of the gospel? We are at a new beginning in our mission, and it is a wonderfully challenging, exciting time for those of us who have been called to share this journey.
I was a member of the former St. Peter's Carlton Street I had attended the church for about 20 years. My husband's family had attended over 5 generations. What we hoped to get out of the amalgamation was not just a new physical home, but a place where our congregation would be welcome and would continue to thrive.
I have been coming to St. Simon the Apostle for about 48 years, and even though I moved to Brampton a number of years ago, I continue to come here. During the amalgamation, I was hoping that we will get a good spiritual leader who would be able to move the new and amalgamated parish forward, incorporating all the interests of everyone concerned and making sure that this parish continues to grow.
The hardest part of the amalgamation was the closing of the physical church of St. Peter's on Carlton Street. It was symbolic of the demise of the community.
The hardest part of the amalgamation process was the uncertainty. We weren't sure who would be the spiritual leader. We weren't sure what the bishop meant by amalgamation. There was a lack of clarity in some of these aspects of amalgamation.
What surprised me at the outset, and what is not a surprise now, after a year having to get to know all of the people at St. Simon's, is how welcoming, warm, thoughtful, and kind they were. They incorporated our artifacts, our icons, they adopted part of our service, and they were willing to change their name and give priority to St. Peter. And that was a hurdle. Once we were over that, everything else fell into place.
What surprised me is the smoothness with which things went after it was official. I found that we felt like a totally same parish as opposed to having new things imposed on us. I felt everything went really well. And I must give credit to Father Jeff for his leadership in doing this, because I'm sure it was not easy. Managing an amalgamated parish, I don't think is an easy thing.
I will continue to come to St. Peter's and St. Simon's for the reason that it keeps me grounded in my everyday life. But the added benefit here is a wonderful sense of community, people who care for you, accept you for who you are.
I believe in having a good start to the week, and when I come to St. Simon's and St. Peter's, I feel really great about what's happening in my life. The community here is great. I've built up great friendships, and I'm building new friendships with the members who've now come to join us from St. Peter's, and I'm excited about the future of St. Peter and St. Simon's.
Our parish is home to many groups, including our shelter here, our after-school music program and homework club, and many other groups that use the space, such as a daycare, which I can appreciate as I'm starting my family. I came to St. Simon's almost 7 years ago, prior to the amalgamation, and what drew me to this church was its wonderful music program. I love to sing, and I sing in the choir here.